Hi everybody, it's Nikki here, and say it with me, it's Bookgammon time. Yes, it is that time of the month where I play my TBR game Bookgammon, which is based off the board game Backgammon, to help me pick my next month's TBR. Today we will be playing for April's TBR, so let me put her down because you know she gets noisy. Okay, so in April, actually no, before we get started for April, I just want to say that, or acknowledge that there was no Bookgammon for March. Now, in my defence, I did film Bookgammon. I did play Bookgammon, I filmed Bookgammon, I did all the sit down and everything for it, but then I got ill. Then I got really ill. I had a really bad cold or flu at the end of February, which I was still suffering with at the beginning of March. And then I got a chest infection. So chest, lung infection, all that area. So I was not very well. I was very, very poorly. And so I took a bit of a break from doing anything to do with YouTube. I just rested, I just took care of myself, and unfortunately that meant that I couldn't edit the video that I'd filmed. So a few of my videos have gone up late for some of my updates for my project pans and things like that, and unfortunately Bookgammon, as I say, got delayed, and then by the time I felt well enough to edit it, it was far too late in the month for it to be of any relevance. So I decided to just let it go, as Elsa sings to us, and just close that chapter and just come back for April. So here I am for April. Now, in April, there are two readathons that I will be taking part in. Of course, the first one of those is going to be the Magical Readathon hosted by G from Book Rose channel. I will leave a link to her announcement video in the description box below the video so that you can check that out if you are interested. I take part in this every year. I have done for a long, long time, even before it became the Aurelium Academy that we were working on. And it's just one that I look forward to every year. It happens twice a year. There's a spring equinox round about this time of the year in April, and then there is the autumn equinox, which I think happens August or September. And I take part in them religiously. Like, it doesn't matter what else I'm doing, I will always take part in Magical Readathon, even if I don't actually do a video about it. So I will be doing Magical Readathon, and then the other one that I'm also going to be taking part in is Realmathon, and I will leave the link to that announcement video for you in the description box below. Forgive me, but I cannot remember the lady's name who organises Realmathon, but it will be in the description box. I have a terrible memory for names, so please do forgive me. I haven't got it written down, which is why I should write everything down. So that means that this month I'm going to play Bookgammon a little bit differently. Now, normally you are used to seeing me with playing cards that have multiple prompts on the card, each relating to the genre of the space that I land on. But this month, because of Realmathon, I bought myself some new cards. These have proper backs to them as well, so they're proper playing cards, but they're blank. I did get these off Amazon, so if you are interested, give us a shout and I'll send you a link. Only for UK though, because I don't know if the link will work on the American Amazon, so only if you're UK. But these blank cards I was able to then write prompts on. Now, the prompts for Realmathon are either an attack prompt or a defense prompt. She will, the lady who has created the project, we're not in project panning. The lady who has created the readathon will explain it so much better. But for all you need to know is each card has one prompt on it. It will either be an attack prompt or a defense prompt. Those are so that the prompt, if it's an attack prompt, then it will give take away points from other teams in the readathon, and if it's a defense prompt, it will give my team, which I will be on the team of Enya, and that will give a defense prompt will give my team points. So that's all you kind of need to know. So the genres are the colors on the board no longer relate to genres. I can pick any book that relates to that prompt. And also this month there will be no priority picks, and there will be no star book or bomb book, unfortunately. I just didn't want to add any extra sort of chaos into the mix, let's be honest. So that is how the gameplay is. So let's roll to gameplay and see what Bookgammon has in store for me with this whole new setup. Roll clip. Okay, so we are not going to be doing the categories for this month's Bookgammon, so put that to the side. And we're not using our normal questions. Instead, we have the prompts from the Realmathon on these lovely backed cards. I bought these off Amazon. I will leave a link in the description box below. So let's give them a good shuffle. We will just use the one piece, and we will use the dark dice. So for roll number 1, we have a 5 and a 1, so that's space 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our first prompt is a defend prompt. So send a message to an ally, spell your name on the book. So I believe that's using any words in the title and the author's name. So yeah, we'll do that one. Okay. Roll number 2. Ooh, a 5 and a 4, so that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's another defend prompt. Cultivate more power. Read a host's favourite from any team. So I will have a look at the list and see which one I want to read. Roll number 3. A 6 and a 3, so that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have an attack prompt. Lose yourself looking in the void, an illustrated spine. And we will roll one more time, just in case I get a double and have to go backwards. Remember, any double will send me backwards this time, because I only have the one piece on the board. And it is not a double, it is 3 and 2, so we are home. So a very quick game of Bookgammon for the month. So yeah, that is it. That is the gameplay. She was quite easy with me. So yeah, that is Bookgammon for another month. So that's what happened. Yeah, just 3 books. 3 books on my Bookgammon TBR this month, because that was a pretty quick game. A very quick game. So for our first roll, we got a defend prompt, and the prompt for that was send a message to an ally, spell your name on the book, and this is worth 6 points for my team. Now this does not mean that my name has to appear in the title or as the author's name or anything like that, although that would have been easy, wouldn't it? Although I don't know if any authors called Nikki with the way I spell Nikki, N-I-C-K-E. Don't ask me why I did it like that, but I did it when I was a teenager, so, you know, random thinkings of a teenage girl who wanted it to be different. maybe somebody called Nicola I could have done, I suppose. But instead I went, but what I'm saying is you don't have to have like your name specifically on the cover. Just the letters of your name need to be in the title, author's name kind of thing. So I went with Get a Life Chloe Brown because we have Nicola. So I went with my full name, Nicola, rather than Nikki, because Nicola is my given name. And this is written by Talia Hibbert. Now, I know that I did a video a couple of years back, I think, of books I will never read. This was on that list, but that was at a time when I thought that these contemporary romances were those sweet, charming, you know, cutesy kind of romances. However, recently I've been kind of dabbling into these new contemporary romances, and they seem to be a little bit more spicy than maybe they would have been, say, 10, 13 years ago. Don't know why I did that random number, but you know, 10, 15 years ago. So yeah, clever, sweet, sexy and brilliant, says Carrie Ann Ryan from the New York Times bestselling author. So yeah, I'm hoping that this is not going to be a cutesy kind of romance book. I'm hoping it's going to be spicy and sexy, and I'm going to give it a try. I am going to give it a try. So that's Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert for the first prompt. The second roll landed me on an attack prompt. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. My husband will be happy. Lose yourself looking in the void, a book with an illustrated spine. This will take 3 points off an opposing team. So that's what that prompt will do. And the book that I've decided to choose for that is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. This is kind of a continuation of her Cruel Prince trilogy, which she's just like continuing to pull more stories from this world, and I am not mad about it. So this is basically following on with the younger brother of Jude from the Cruel Prince trilogy. It just says, return to the opulent world of Elfheim in this first book of a captivating new duology from #1 New York Times bestselling author Holly Black. So yeah, very excited to continue on with this world. I do love The Cruel Prince, and I have been dying to reread it in recent months, especially during my reading slump. You know, you just want comfort reads that you know you're going to love and enjoy. And don't come at me, I love The Cruel Prince. I really do. I just love that trilogy. So yeah, I'm going to be reading that one. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention what Get a Life Chloe Brown was about, did I? Basically, Chloe Brown is a chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan and a list. After almost, but not quite, dying, she's come up with a list of directives to help her get a life. But it's not easy being bad, even when you've written out step-by-step guidelines. What Chloe needs is a teacher, and she knows just the man for the job. Redford, or Red Morgan. He's got tattoos and a motorbike and is the perfect helper in her mission to rebel. But as they spend more time together, Chloe realises there's much more to him than his tough exterior implies, and soon she's left wanting more from him than she ever expected, because of course. And maybe there's more to life than her list ever imagined. So yes, that's why I'm expecting it to be a little bit spicy. Maybe even a little bit of witty banter. I love me some witty banter. So anyway, back to normal scheduling. The third roll landed us with another defend prompt, and this one was cultivate more power, read a host's favourite from any team. This is +6 points for my team. So I had a look at the picture of all the hosts' favourite books that was supplied for us by the creator of Realmathon, and one of the books that was on there, it's going to be a very quick read, is this graphic novel here, it is Descender, written by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, like that. And this is about this robot boy. I believe his name's Tim. 10 years after planet-sized robots called Harvesters appeared and wreaked havoc across the galaxy, a young android named Tim, 21, waits to find that all robots have been outlawed. But Tim may hold the secrets to the Harvesters in his machine DNA, and he quickly becomes the most wanted robot in the universe. With bounty hunters and threats lurking at every turn, Tim embarks on a mind-blowing adventure through the stars, along with his robot dog, Bandit, and the lumbering mining droid, Driller. So there's a whole cast of characters here at the back. So yeah, a heartfelt, rip-roaring science fiction odyssey written by Jeff Lemire, and featuring beautifully, fully painted artwork by Dustin Nguyen. I think that's how you say his name. So yeah, just a short graphic novel, but as I say, I'm still just, I think, guys, I might be coming out of my reading slump. I think, but I'm gonna take it easy on myself. I brought in a graphic novel, mainly because the other choices were pretty much epic fantasy, and no. So all of that is my Realmathon readathon. Obviously, if that won't be the only thing I'll be reading, because I do have my magical readathon books to read as well. But before we get into that, I do want to mention I'm still plodding through it, guys. Look, Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas, my buddy read with Charlotte. I think we're just trying to get through it as much as we can. It's not that the story isn't interesting or exciting. This is a reread for me, but it's a first time read for Charlotte. It's not that. I think it's just because we're both slumping, and so epic fantasy, as epic as Sarah J Maas is, you can argue that amongst yourselves, but big thick fantasy like this is just not, I just struggling, guys, struggling. So I'm still continuing to read that one. So moving on to my magical readathon. So let's go into it. So for my magical readathon, I am going for, where's my pieces of paper? Where's my pieces? Losing my pieces of paper. Okay. So I am going for the Master of Elements, Korea. So I need to take, for my spring equinox classes, I need to take Elemental Studies, Shape-Shifting, Animal Studies, Astronomy, Conjuration, and Restoration. So those are the classes that I will be taking. So the first class, Elemental Studies, the prompt is flowers on the cover. So for that, I have picked a brand new book that came out this year, and that is The Luminaries. I think it came out this year. I don't know. It went straight to paperback, so I don't know. Maybe it came out last year. I don't know. This is written by Susan Dennard. Didn't she write Truth Witch? Yeah. When did this come out? Oh no, it came out last year. Okay. Okay, so this came out last year, but it's now just come out in paperback. Look at that cover. Look at it, gorgeous. And like flowers. There's flowers on the cover. Isn't that gorgeous? That's so pretty. So this one says, Hemlock Falls isn't like other towns. You won't find it on a map. Your phone won't work here, and the forest outside town might kill you. Sounds a lot like, not Deck of Omens, that was the second one. What was it? I can't remember the name. I'll try and put it up on the screen. Forest outside town might kill you. That's a common theme. Winnie Wednesday, love that name. Oh my goodness. Wants nothing more than to join the Luminaries, the ancient order that protects humanity from the nightmares that rise in the forest of Hemlock Falls each night. Ever since her father was exposed as a traitor, Winnie and her family have been shunned. But on her 16th birthday, she can take the deadly Luminary Hunter trials and restore her family's good name, or die trying. Hunger Games, Deadly Forest. I'm in. Like, I was pulled in just by the cover alone, and the sprayed edges. Look at that edge. It's a forest. It's a forest with a moon. How gorgeous is that? So yeah, I was just pulled in by the cover, let's be honest. But that, there's a scorpion down there as well, look. Oh, I'm a Scorpio. Intrigue, getting up there. That's a beautiful bird too. I just noticed bird. So yeah, I'm going to be reading that for my elemental studies, flowers on the cover. Next class is shapeshifting, and for this we need wolves on the cover or in the title. And so I'm going for this one. This is quite an old book. Let's stick you back on there so I know what you're for. This is the Emerald Atlas by John Stevens. It looks a very old kind of, you know, when was this written? Jesus. 2011 originally. It's going to be one of those, isn't it? Wolves, right up the top in the corner, howling away there, and then one on the other side there like that. So there are the wolves. So we have 3 children, 2 worlds, 1 prophecy. They were snatched from their beds in the dead of night when the world was covered in snow. 10 years on, Kate, Michael and Emma have grown up in a string of miserable orphanages, and all memories of their parents have faded. Arriving in the eerily silent Cambridge Falls, the children quickly realise there is something strange going on. With the discovery of an old leather book, an ancient magical prophecy is set in motion, which will take them on the adventure of several lifetimes. Ooh, several lifetimes? To worlds outside their own. Only they have the power to save the town and their own future. So, yes, being apparently compared to C.S. Lewis and J.K. Rowling. We won't go there. So, yeah, it looks very, you know, typical fantasy from a long time ago. Pages are a little bit, but, you know, we will try it. We will see. Even if I end up, apparently G from Book Roast has said for the Magical Readathon that if we at least get 50% into the book and then we DNF it, we can still count it as prompt complete. So I will have to get halfway through, which this book is 417 pages. So I will have to get to at least 210 pages before I can DNF for it to count. But we'll see how that goes. If not, I'll have to find something else to fulfill that prompt. So the next class is Animal Studies. And for this, I have to flip a coin. If I get heads, then that equals non-fiction I have to pick. And if I get tails, it is a fiction book I have to pick. So I will insert a clip here of me doing my coin flip, and let's see what we get. Please tails, please tails, please tails. Okay, so here is my flip a coin app. We still have the Queen's head on this coin. It's not updated. So let's have a look. Heads for non-fiction, tails for fiction. It's tails! Yes! There we go. That is the tails. Yes! I got tails! I literally was praying to all the gods. So I did get a fiction, so I have picked God Killer by Hannah Kana. This is a new release just this year, I believe, and this is the gorgeous Waterstones edition, which has these beautiful sprayed edges. Look at those, so gorgeous. Absolutely stunning, stunning book. Even the end papers, look at that. Look at them. Isn't it gorgeous? I want to go there. I do. I want to go there. It says, you are not welcome here, God Killer. Kissen's family were killed by zealots of a fire god. Now she makes a living killing gods and enjoys it. That is until she finds a god she cannot kill. Skedi, or Skedi, a god of white lies, has somehow bound himself to a young noble, and they are both on the run from unknown assassins. Joined by a disillusioned knight on a secret quest, they must travel to the ruined city of Readathon, where the last of the wild gods reside, to each beg a favour. Pursued by demons and in the midst of burgeoning civil war, they will all face a reckoning. Something is rotting at the heart of the kingdom, and only they can be the ones to stop it. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous book. And it's only, if I remember rightly, yeah, it's less than 300 pages as well. I do believe, though, it is the first in a trilogy or a duology. Not sure. Let's have a look. I don't know. It doesn't say. But yeah, I do believe it is number 1. So there will be more books in this series, I hope. But, you know, not mad about it. Look at that cover. Gorgeous. Okay. Our next class is for astronomy, and this is a book with 2 letter E's in the title. So for that, where is it? Where are you? I'm going to make it easy on my side, I'm going to make it easy on myself, and I'm going to read Get a Life, Chloe Brown for this, because 1, 2, 3 E's. There's a lot of E's in this title, and as I say, I am coming out of a reading slump. I think I'm coming out of my reading slump. It depends on the books I'm picking. So yeah, I've got to make it easy on myself. So we're gonna have to cheat a little and use a book that was picked for Realmathon. So I will be reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown for 2 E's in the title, which is for my astronomy class for Magical Readathon. The next class I will be taking is Conjuration, and the prompt for this is book recommended by a friend. Now, she's not necessarily a friend, but my daughter counts? Surely she counts. My daughter is not a reader. It hurts my heart. I can't tell you how much it hurts my heart that my daughter is not a reader. I swear she was swapped at birth. If she wasn't so much like me, I'd say she was. But she isn't. Swapped at birth. She is my daughter. But she's not a reader. But over the last sort of 6 months, she has been picking up a couple of books here and there. Mainly started with Heartstopper, because she watched the Netflix show and she said, I love it, Mum, have you seen it? Have you seen it? And I went, yeah, I've read the graphic novels. And she was like, there's graphic novels? So I loaned her mine and she devoured them, literally devoured them. So then she has gone on to buy some other Alice Oseman books, and she's been reading those. And then recently she was on holiday and she picked up a couple of books by Colleen Hoover. And one of those books was Verity. Now, I've heard a lot of things about Verity, but I've not really been that interested in reading any Colleen Hoover, apart from maybe November 9, but that's because my birthday's November the 10th. But when my daughter literally read it in 2 days, read Verity in 2 days, my daughter read Verity in 2 days, colour me intrigued. I'm intrigued. What captured my daughter's attention so much that while she was on holiday, she finished the book in 2 days? I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. So I'm going to see if I can borrow her copy. She did say that I could, so it's just getting her to bring the copy to me. That might be the issue. So hopefully I will borrow her copy. If not, I'm sure I can maybe get it on Scribd or download the ebook or something like that. Somehow I'll get a copy of Verity to read. So I'm going to be reading Verity by Colleen Hoover. Can't tell you what it's about, but I can tell you that it intrigued my daughter so much as a non-reader that she finished it in 2 days. That says something. So that's what I'm going to be reading for Conjuration. And last but not least, the last class is Restoration. And the prompt for this is just to close my eyes, shuffle some books, and then point. Well, I find it very hard to shuffle cards, so shuffling books is probably not going to be an easy option either. I'm sure that's not what G meant when she said to shuffle the books. So what I thought I would do, because I've really been enjoying ebooks recently. I think it was because while I was suffering with my chest infection, holding a physical book was actually kind of not difficult, but a little bit more painful for me. But holding my phone was so easy and so much better for me. So I have been, you'll see from my March reading wrap up, I've read a few ebooks in the last month. So what I thought I would do is go to my Kindle app and, not you, good off. I'm going to go to my library. So here's my library. And then I'm just going to shuffle and point. That didn't work. I'm going to shuffle and point to that one. Which one did we get? Ooh, was that Medusa? That was Medusa. However, that is only a sample of Medusa. So, I will, is that Kindle Unlimited one? No, it is actually an ebook that you can then go on to buy. So what I will do is I will read the sample and then I will purchase the full version of the book. Because that is an option I can do. So yeah, I will be reading Medusa by Rosie Hewlett. And let me see what it says about this book. So it says, you know her name, you know her story, just not the right one. Within the depths of the underworld, the formidable snake-haired Gorgon has finally had enough. Tired of being eternally and unjustly brandished a villain, Medusa has found the courage to face her tragic past and speak out. Determined to expose the centuries of lies surrounding her name, Medusa gives unparalleled insight into her cursed life, from her earliest memories and abandonment at birth, right through to her tragic and untimely death at the hands of the hero Perseus. Through telling her story, Medusa finally reveals the lost truth behind antiquity's most infamous monster. Medusa breathes new life into an ancient story and echoes the battle that women throughout millennia have continued to wage, the opportunity to simply be heard. So that is what it is. It's only 206 pages, the full book, so shouldn't take me too long to read that. So yeah, I'm going to be reading Medusa by, who did I say it was? Rosie Hewlett. So yeah, that's what I will be reading for Restoration. So there you have it. That is my April TBR. So I have, let me get back to it. So I have Empire Storms, which is my buddy read with Charlotte. Then I have these 3 books for Realmathon. And then this book again with, let's put them like this, with these 4 physical books for the Magic Readathon, and then 2 possible ebooks to read for the Magical Readathon as well. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 physical books and potentially 2 ebooks. Definitely 1 ebook. Verity will either be a physical or an ebook as well. So yeah, that is my April TBR. Will you be taking part in the Magical Readathon or the Realmathon? As I say, I will leave links to the announcement videos in the description box below the video. So please do check them out if you are intrigued. Check them out anyway. They're awesome ladies creating these readathons. And their content on their channel is very, very interesting, especially if you are a lover of books. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.